After several months of wondering where the market is heading, June may finally be giving us some answers. Sales across Simcoe County increased compared to last year, inventory is starting to come down, and several local markets are becoming more balanced. There are still opportunities for buyers, but we're beginning to see signs that the market is finding its footing. Although most of these numbers are lower than last year's, they are running pretty consistently compared to the first half of 2026. Let's take a look at what's happening across Simcoe County, Barrie, Innisfil, Springwater, and Oro-Medonte. Hello, I'm James Myers, your Barrie and Simcoe County area realtor. Every month I review the statistics put out by the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board to give you an understanding of what is happening in our local real estate market. In this report, we'll compare June 2026 to June 2025 and look behind the headlines to tell you what the numbers actually mean for homeowners, buyers, and sellers. One of the most encouraging numbers this month is the total number of homes that sold. Sales are up 8% from last year, showing that buyers are becoming more active. Even though the average price in June was lower than June 2025, they were higher than 4 of the 5 previous months so far this year. In May, the average price bumped up over $800,000 for some reason, but year to date in June, the average price is at its highest level it's been all year. And this is a trend that I see across most segments of the market. Inventory is down a little bit compared to 2025, which puts us just under 6 months of inventory, which is generally considered a balanced market. One thing I noticed is just how stable detached home prices have become in Barrie. Same as with Simcoe County, June's average price for a detached property was higher than it was in 4 of the 5 previous months so far this year. It's been hovering around the $750,000 mark all year. Barrie's detached home market remained fairly steady in June. Sales volume was down 3% compared to last year, although prices were down 6%. Homes are selling 3 days slower than they were a year ago, but 2 days faster than they were in May. One statistic that I really like to watch is months of inventory. It dropped from 5.5 months last year to 5.1 months this year, suggesting that the supply of available homes is gradually being absorbed. Detached homes are selling in about a month, another sign that well-priced homes are still attracting buyers. Townhouses continue to be one of the strongest segments in our local market. Buyers are active, inventory remains reasonable, and prices have been fairly steady over the first half of the year. Although, unlike their detached cousins, the average price for a townhouse is at its lowest level that it's been all year, coming in just under $580,000, although the previous 5 months before that were all over $580,000. Townhouses had one of the stronger performances in June. Sales volume increased 9% compared to last year, although prices were down 8%. New listings also dropped by 15%, which means there's less competition if you want to sell your townhouse. With inventory sitting at 4.5 months, this continues to be one of the healthiest segments in Barrie. Always has been. A good, clean, well-priced freehold townhouse is as good as sold. Condominiums continue to be the slowest segment of the local market. Sales are down 10%, prices are down 10%, and they're taking a little longer to sell than they were a year ago. Prices have been all over the map this year, between $425,000 to $475,000. Sales have been consistent around 25 sales per month since the spring. Even though new listings have dropped significantly, we're still sitting at over 7 months of inventory, which gives buyers a lot of power and negotiating room. Innisfil had a softer June than last year. Sales volume was off by 6%. Average price was down by 13%, making that one of the larger price adjustments in the area. Overall, Innisfil has been hovering around the $800,000 mark all year. At the same time, new listings increased by 4%, giving buyers more options than they had previously. Even with the additional inventory, homes actually sold 1 week quicker than they did last year, which shows that buyers are out there and will pick up well-priced properties when the opportunity arises. Oro-Medonte had one of the strongest reports this month. Sales jumped an impressive 35% compared to last year, while new listings were slightly higher. Although average prices were down 8%, homes sold much quicker than they did in June last year, averaging just 21 days on the market. The average price in Oro-Medonte usually hangs out over $1 million. Inventory dropped slightly, combine that with the higher number of sales, and that drove down the months of inventory. Springwater had a slower June compared to a year ago. Sales were down 15% and average sale price was off by 8%. New listings were also down by 20%. So that tells us that the buyers and sellers in Springwater were not too busy last month. With 6.1 months of inventory, Springwater remains just outside of a balanced market, which means buyers have more choice and sellers need to be realistic in the pricing in order to attract serious buyers. It's important to remember that average price doesn't tell the full story. If more luxury homes sell within a month, the average price goes up. If more entry-level homes sell within a month, the average price comes down. That's why I always pay close attention to sales activity, months of inventory, and days on the market. Looking at all those numbers together gives us a much better indication of where the market is heading. Overall, June painted a fairly encouraging picture for our local real estate market. Buyers have become more active, inventory has improved in many segments, and we're continuing to see a more balanced market across much of Simcoe County. Sellers need to price their homes realistically, but well-presented and well-priced homes do attract attention. If you're wondering what these numbers mean for your particular neighborhood or your house, I'm always happy to help. My contact information is in the description down below. Thanks for watching.